Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Andres Iniesta, Thomas Müller. There's been some big names tumbling out of this tournament, but Neymar, well, he's done a bit of tumbling of his own. But Brazil are marching on to the quarterfinals, and the big question today is, can England join them? England haven't won a knockout game at a major tournament in 12 years. Since Italia 90, we've won 3. In that time, Germany have won 24. The numbers don't look good. But Marcus, you've got a theory about why that might be changing.
Yeah, basically, I think you can't underestimate the connection between fans and a team and how that can improve performance. You just have to look at Liverpool this season. Remember, Jurgen Klopp was widely mocked when he took the Liverpool fans to the Cup after they drew 2-2 with, was it West Brom? But the connection between Liverpool and their fans, in my eyes, literally drove them towards that Champions League final, those nights in Anfield. And I think I've seen a real change in the last month or so with the relationship between England and their fans. I think it's been managed really well by the FA, Gareth Southgate, and you just have to look at like some of the songs that are knocking about and all that sort of stuff. And I genuinely think it takes a layer of pressure off the team when the fans are all in, and I think they are all in.
Southgate's team selection against Belgium produced kind of the big controversy of the World Cup so far for England as he rotated the team, but in terms of the first 11 it's been a pretty settled situation. But perhaps that may change against Colombia. There could be one big change in the offing, or at least Marcus maybe thinks there should be. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I think basically Eric Dier should be drafted in. And the reason behind that is the way Colombia set up. They've got some fantastic midfielders. Obviously you hear a lot about James Rodriguez, Juan Cuadrado, gets a lot of chat as well. They've also got Quintero, who, if he plays alongside James or in tandem with James, I just think that if Jordan Henderson was on his own, he'd get overrun. Then also you've obviously got Falcao, who will be in and around that area too. So I think two nominally defensive-minded midfielders make more sense.
I understand the sentiment, and I think you're right. Quintero's been one of the revelations of the World Cup so far. He's been fantastic. That cheeky little free kick against Japan, we just rolled it under the wall. Unbelievable. Okay, you want to bring in Eric Dier alongside Henderson. Who are you dropping?
It's a big question. I don't think you can drop Jesse Lingard, just because he's integral to everything England do in terms of smart 1-2s, quick runs in behind. So then you're looking at Loftus-Cheek and or Ali, as in they've been playing either or. So I'd probably Ali out.
It's a big call for me because I think it's a risk to mess with the system too much. You know, we've seen when they've played that formation with the two more attacking-minded players either side of Henderson, it has worked really well. And when we've had those runners from deep, Southgate's talked about it kind of being a front four, hasn't he, with Kane, Sterling, and then either Ali or Loftus-Cheek and Lingard. I think if you bring in a defensive midfielder, it tells the other team you're worried about them. More playing to their strengths and being aware of that than playing to your own. So I think it's too much of a risk. For me, Eric Dier stays on the bench, and also because when he played against Belgium, he was terrible. He
was a bit ropey, to be fair. I'm still backing him though. I think his passing is probably underrated, slightly better than Henderson's. So maybe he could set the attacks in motion from deep. But yeah, it's a debate. So once again, Neymar was the star of the show. He's a compelling character and is likely to be the face of this World Cup, but it might not just be for good reasons. Against Mexico, he scored one and assisted the other. He put in a superb performance, but again, a lot of the attention was taken on to an incident with Leon in approximately 70th minute, where he was clearly fouled. Actually, it was a stamp, but his reaction was a bit OTT. Ah! 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 What did you make of it, Tom?
I think we saw the two sides of Neymar, didn't we? The brilliant, wonderful footballer who, when he turns it on, he can kind of unpick any defence. That little back heel to Willian, the way he kind of ran in behind while Willian took the ball in and then he tapped it in. The assist for the Firmino goal as well. I'm going to be honest, the reaction wasn't great, but I'm going to defend Neymar a bit here. I mean, this guy has been fouled the most of any player at the whole World Cup. We saw at the last World Cup what happened to him. A knee in the back from Kamil Zuniga, which put him out of the tournament. The referee didn't take any action. I'm not one to defend kind of ridiculously over-the-top diving, and clearly he overemphasises any contact that's made.
This is my new luggage. I called it Neymar. Because of the colour, but mainly because of this. You barely touch it, and it turns round and round for hours.
But if you think about it, he gets some really terrible treatment as well. And at the end of the day, he is a superstar, he is a fantastic player, and I think if he continues kind of doing what he did with the ball that he did in this match in the later rounds, we're going to remember this as a tournament for Neymar for the right reasons.
Yeah, and I agree with the lion's share of that. What I would say is he strikes me as someone who has been indulged for too long, whether that be by sponsors, entourage or managers, and I think it could get to a tipping point, potentially in Russia 2018, where he ends up costing Brazil. My suggestion would be obviously to drop Neymar.
Oh,
just get it done.
Neymar, you can't drop Neymar.
Indulged, just you know.
The guy who just got a goal and an assist.
Yeah, long term.
In the last 16.
It's a long-term game. He'll be a better player for it.
There's no long term if you're dropping Neymar. You'll be sacked the next day. The team Brazil are going to play in the quarterfinals is, as expected, Belgium, but it didn't quite work out like that. They were really rocking at 2 goals down against Japan, and everyone was saying Roberto Martinez was an absolute fraud. What was he doing? They turned it around and Nacer Chadli scored that incredible injury time winner, with a lot of the credit, in my opinion, going to Romelu Lukaku for his unbelievable dummy.
Teams that win World Cups have moments like that, where last minute, late winner against the odds, and then the momentum goes from there. So potentially, maybe that's Belgium's moment. They kick on from there, and they will be a big test for Brazil, especially with that front line.